To mark our 25th anniversary, we approached world-renowned artist David Arrigo and asked him to create for us a very special coast-to-coast Honda Goldwing F6B. David was all over this project right from the get-go and offered to paint the wing in front of a live audience in the Motorcycle Experience booth during this year's Toronto Motorcycle Show. As we get set to fire up this project, let's meet the artist.
It's one of those stories that's failed grade 9 art, never took it again, and here I am 25 plus years later, painting away and working with all sorts of very cool sports industries such as the NFL, NHL. I've worked the Winter Olympics twice now, and now I'm trying to push myself into the motorcycle culture because that's a nice canvas to paint.
David got his start back in the 90s painting denim jackets, a gig that led to creating a massive wall mural outside of Wayne Gretzky's Resto in downtown Toronto. From there, the Hockey Hall of Fame came calling, along with many Olympians, a who's who of NHL goalies, and eventually the NFL. And this whole time, the airbrush has been David's tool of choice.
The airbrush, I just became so accustomed to it, and in the last few years I've been trying to create my own distinctive style where I do mix in the paintbrush with the airbrush, so you're not even sure exactly to what degree I've used either of the instruments.
But David's ride onto the motorcycle scene has not been entirely a smooth one. When we first commissioned him to paint a Honda, I had envisioned him going to town on a Fury or a Phantom. However, in the end, Honda Canada chose a Goldwing F6B, a beautiful machine that comes with plenty of bodywork.
I was expecting your standard tank, fender, and maybe a fairing. And then when the bike was delivered into my studio in so many various pieces, I was a little confused to say the least. It was like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. The show is about to open a few minutes away. We're in the Motorcycle Experience booth and wanted to show you the first piece that I had completed. This was of course completed back in the studio a couple of days ago. This is the front fairing of our Goldwing F6B, and this had actually set the template for the entire design. The one or two images Honda had asked us to utilize was of course Mr. Honda and the tie-in with Canada. So taking that, we started off with Mr. Honda, and it's going to end off with all the maple leaves that are going to be blowing right across the bike. This is what all the color is going to be. It's just the red, the black, and the white. This piece here will really pop to life once it's clear coated. Right now we just have a dull finish on it, and once it comes out of the clear coat shop, watch out, it's going to be bang on. So here we are, everything's going very well. We're approximately, I'd say about a good 3 hours into the first piece. It's day one, of course, of the Toronto Motorcycle Show, and having a great time already. The piece of the bike I'm working on right now is the saddle bag on the right side, and we thought in collaboration that it would be a great idea to celebrate Canada from the mountains over to, of course, the East Coast with the water and the lighthouse, in which the piece I'll be painting very shortly. The reason why I picked these images particularly for this side bag was because of the mountain region is representative of the West Coast, and having the Goldwings in the background sort of blurred out, driving into the foreground, and everybody loves coyotes, unless you're of course a farmer with a hen house. But saying that, we wanted something that would capture people's interest as they're walking by, as opposed to just having some straight lines and that sort of thing. It would be a lot more fun with our furry friends. I've been working on this particular piece for about 3 hours now. It's still probably about another hour in. I'm very much on time right now, and it's great too because people are stopping by, interacting, and that's what this whole live mural experience is all about. And it's drawing a lot of great interest and some great comments so far. And any negative comments I haven't heard or I won't listen to anyways. End of the first day. I think it was a pretty productive day myself. Not yet finished the second saddle bag, but we're well on our way. We'll be finishing it up tomorrow, where I bring in some other pieces as well to complete. The piece that I'm presently just finishing off for the evening is the East Coast version for the bike, and basically representing East Coast, Halifax, Newfoundland, with the lighthouse, the bike coming around the corner, and of course the seabird coming across the shadows with the raging waves, and it is making me feel colder and colder when I look at it every time. There was just so much continuity with the twisting roads you know, the hillsides, of course the ocean, and I'm just a huge fan of lighthouses as well. You know, and it just adds that ambiance to the piece. So, you know, it's not any one particular scene, it's sort of a collage of the East Coast. Trying to see this thing firsthand was a deal on its own, because trying to get up to Barrie, which was the closest dealer, it was just a nightmare because of the weather we've been having the last month. But we figured it out well, and I'm very pleased with the way the project's come along, and I can't wait to see it when it's all put back together just like this. This is gorgeous, this thing. Right now I'm getting ready to start the trunk portion. The images are going to involve the Honda Civic, as well as the family planting a tree. Honda is very much tied into the environmental side of Canada, in the sense that for every car that they sell, they plant a tree, which I think is a great program all around. To tie the rest of the bike in, we're going to be having the maple leaves that are coming directly from the front and down the sides of the tank again, across the east-west coast and onto the top of the trunk. So we're totally going to be a 360 painting here. Here we are at day 3, getting towards the back end of the stretch. It's been a long couple of days, but we've got a lot of productivity done. I'm very pleased with the way it ended off so far. Still have a few more hours. I'm planning on going back into doing more of the touch-up mode with the pieces, and then we'll be packing up the pieces once again for their road trip to clear coat. Clear coating is one of the most important parts of the entire process. This is what's going to seal the paint, protect the paint, and you know, depending on how it's used, it can go on forever.
The reason why we use clear coats now, basically the base coat that's put on the product first. So there's different stages. There's a base coat, and then there's a tri-coat. So you have either a single stage, a 3-stage, and then with your clear on top. And what the clear does, it protects the UVs from the sun. Let's take a red, for instance. If you're using a nice tri-coat red, in the olden days, it would get chalky or faded, so that's why we like to use the clear on top of everything, and it also brings all the color and the pigments out and everything. Basically, like if you're doing a simple project, you'll put your base coat on first, or in the case that we're working with David, the base coat will go on. David will do all his artwork with multi-different colors, and then when he is done, we go ahead and put the clear coat on, water sand it, and normally give it another coat of clear just to help get that 3-dimensional deep look when we're done.
I can't thank Motorcycle Experience and Honda enough to really, step out on the plank and believe in me.
And now, after some 4 months, our 25th anniversary Honda Goldwing F6B is ready to be revealed. David, are you ready to see it?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be the first time not in a million pieces, so okay. I look forward to it.
Guys, if you could do the honors, please. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. It makes sense now.
Story's all together now.
That's it.
Wow. So Kim, what did you think of the final product?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's to see all the little pieces and then see it come together. I took a sneak peek last week in the shop, and it was, yeah. I think that Mr. Honda would be proud to be on the front of that bike. I didn't realize that I knew so much of David's work before. It wasn't until I met David and talking with David and how he's involved with the NHL and how he's involved with the Olympics, and so I've seen his work before. I just didn't know I'd seen his work before. So it was a really good experience. He was an awesome guy, and as you can see, he's a fabulous artist.
So David, 7 months in the making. This has been an amazing project. This was the first time I've got to see it all together, and I got to tell you, it looks fantastic. You did a great job.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. As a team, between yourself, Kim from Honda, and myself creating this design, the whole fact of, coast to coast, and of course the celebrations of Honda's anniversary, Motorcycle Experience. I've just been so pleased with the final results. This is the first time I'm actually seeing it all together, as opposed to being pieces all over my studio, all over the show floor, and it's been a great time putting this together for sure.
What's your favorite part of the motorcycle now that you see it all together? What's your favorite piece, or what are you most proud of?
Every piece has its own story, because during the process of painting it down at the show, so many people were coming up to me and I do remember a lot of these individuals actually speaking to me about the coyotes on the side, you know, or the East Coast side with the lighthouse, and it's been a great response. And I know a lot of people have been excited as much as us to see this completed as a whole.
Well, the love is there, and I love your work, and it's been an honor to work with you on this project. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you to Honda, yourself, and Motorcycle Experience, and congratulations on your anniversary.
What a fun and cool project this has been. Rumor has it Honda Canada plans to introduce the Motorcycle Experience 25th Anniversary Bagger to a whole new audience when it pulls it out and puts it on display at the next Honda Indy race in Toronto, Ontario.